Okay, welcome back to the Dublin Academy again, online. Well, actually I'm not online, but you'll find me on Facebook, or my Gmail address is dublinacademy@gmail.com. Okay, so today we're going to do manipulating a formula and inequalities. Okay, so these questions come up quite a lot. Okay, I've been looking at the papers, especially manipulating the formula. Okay, some of these are volume. Okay. Now, in this question, is manipulate the formula. The letters that are in the brackets are make the subject of the formula. Now, there's two ways you can express this. They say express in terms of x, or make x the subject of the formula. So you would just try and get rid of x and keep x on the left hand side and get rid of everything over to the other side, on the side. Now, remember when you're doing, we're going to do inequalities first. So the first inequality, what are inequalities? Well, first of all we have to know what the letters represent. Okay, so we've got, first of all we got n. N is a natural number. So if it says x is an element of n, it means you have to it's a whole positive number. Okay, so that would be on 0, 0, 1, 2 and all the way into infinity. Okay, but you have to note them. An integer is negative numbers and positive numbers. Okay, so they're numbers, whole negative numbers. And next is q. Q is an irrational number and it can be expressed as a fraction. Okay, it's always expressed as a fraction. And R, which is the most easy to remember, is everything on the number line within a certain range. Okay, if you get a range of x's between less than, greater than, or equal to, less than or equal to 1 and minus 1, you know that it includes 1 and less than 1, so 1 would be outside, minus 1 would be inside. Okay, I'll get more detail in a while with that one. We'll just do a question, and the question today is graph on the number line the set 4 minus x is greater than or equal to 2x minus 5. Now, this is like an equation. You've got an equal sign here. Okay, so you bring everything over and you make x on the left hand side. So you got minus x minus 2x is greater than or equal to minus 5 minus 4. Okay, so you got minus 3x is greater than or equal to minus 9. Okay. Now, what do we do here? Well, we have to divide across by minus 3. And when we divide across by minus 3, we change the direction of the sign. So that means this will change direction. When you have a minus and you're dividing across, you change the direction of the sign. So that's less than or equal to minus 9 over minus 3. Okay? Now remember, don't change the sign, change its function. Multiplication becomes division. But in inequalities, when you divide across by minus, you change the direction of this function. Okay, so instead of greater than, it becomes less than. Okay, and equal to. Minus into minus is a plus 3. X is less than or equal to 3, and it says x is an element of, where are we? Is an element of n. Okay, so that means you have to display this. It says graph on the number line. Okay, so it's x is less than or equal to 3, and it's in a sense it would be 0, 1, 2, 3. Less than or equal to? Yes. So it would include those points. Okay. And normally they would ask you to write the set of them like that, you know, with commas. But on a number line for natural numbers. But in the case of for your or you would have to indicate the whole line. Okay, but anyway, these are whole numbers. Okay, so the set is 0, 1, 2, 3 because it's less than 3. Let's have a look now, see another question here. Right, so we're going to change the direction sign. Now here's another one. Minus 10 is less than or equal to 5x, which is less than or equal to 3x plus 4. X is an element of R. Right, so what do I do here? You see, you've got a couple of x's here. You've got two fractions. You've got two equations really, but it's fairly simple to do. Okay. Stop that. So it's very simple to do. You just bring them across. Now, so I'm bringing that 5 across, but what I must do to the other side. Okay, and I must bring that 3x over because it's in the way. We need to isolate x on its own. That becomes minus 10 is less than or equal to over 5. Well, we won't do that just yet. Minus 10 is less than, we bring the minus, it becomes minus 3, so it becomes 2x less than or equal to, is less than or equal to, is less than, yes, less than 4. So now we've got 2, so we divide 2 across into both of them, because in the next line would be minus 10 divided by 2, less than or equal to x, less than or equal to m, which is less than 4 over 2. You must do to one side, you must also do to the other. So x is going to range in the range from minus 5 to 2. So you draw your number line, you go to 2 and you just fill it in. Okay? I'm running out of space, I better just start rubbing all this out here. Okay? We'll have another go at another one. This is quite a large one. X is less than 3x minus 1, which is less than 2x plus 7. It's pretty complicated here. Now what I tend to do is I tend to break it into two equations. So look at this equation. X is less than 3x minus 1, or 3x minus 1 is less than 2x plus 7. Okay, so see what I've done here. I've got this group here together and I've got this group here together, right? And I solved the formulas. Okay, so I solve in those formulas of this becomes minus, so it becomes x minus 3x is less than minus 1. Okay, and then I manipulate the formula. I got minus 2x. You must change the direction of the sign, and it becomes minus. So you got where's the x? Minus 2x is less than minus 1 over. So this minus 1 and then x. Change in direction of the sign, minus 1 over minus 2. Minus into minus is a half. Remember that now. Okay, a minus into a minus is the same as multiplication. A minus over a minus is a plus. Right? So there's the function, one of the functions x. X is that correct? X minus, so x is less than a half. Right? And we move over to the next equation. So we've got this equation, you can bring the x's together, 3x minus 2x less than, didn't change the direction, 7 minus 1 becomes plus 1. So it's a normal equation here. So we got 3x minus 2x is x is less than 8. Now, so you see that the function here that, we didn't change the direction of this sign. Okay, so when we divide across by a minus, I forgot to change the direction, we didn't do it previously. So here we go. So x is less than 8 and it's greater than a half. Do you see what I did here? I just popped that in here. Okay, I brought this equation back again, and you can figure out when this is right at this is it says it says leave it draw it on the number line. Okay, so you draw it on the number line, and it says x is an element of r. Okay, so you just draw it on the number line that goes from a half. So you know you got your 1 and you got your half hit down here, all the way to 8, and you just colour the line in, and then that's your x is equal to. Okay, I'm getting too involved in it. So that's functions, or that's inequalities. Now the next thing is manipulation of formulae. Right, now manipulating the formula is an unraveling affair. Is that how you spell unraveling? Anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm going against the hierarchy of maths. In other words, I'm doing everything that's added and subtracted first before a multiplication and division. Before I had to go down this way when I'm solving equations, but I'm unraveling everything, and that means that I have to go back, unwrap it all. Okay, so remember that you will become obvious to you after a while. So I'm manipulating the formula. So it says express in terms of, or make determines the subject. So usually you're given it in these two ways. So for example, let's have a look at this. So T is equal to K root L over G. Now this is some formula for temperature. I think it's a Kelvin converter. Yeah. So L, and it says express, what are we looking for? L. Okay, so L, look how I've got an L here. Look what it's tied up here in this root sign, okay? Now, I must get rid of the k first because I can't get rid of this. It's the hierarchy maths I'm going against. The last thing I do is square roots and squares. Okay, so I'm down here and I'm doing multiplication and division. And there's no addition and subtraction. So I bring the k across. Multiplying here, it comes across and it becomes division. Okay, root L over G. Now how do I get rid of the square root? Square root becomes across the equal sign. This is the equal sign. Do you follow? It becomes a square root becomes a square. So I get rid of this and it becomes t over k all to be squared is equal to L over G. Okay? Now I'm looking for L, so I've got G now on its own and I just bring it across and it becomes L is equal to G times t squared over k squared because I've multiplied these out. Okay, not the G. Okay, so I just brought the G across and multiplied them all by G. So this is t squared, k squared. Right, that wasn't too bad. And I've any other questions? Manipulating formula. What's with this? Is 2013. I'm looking at this. 2013. And it says paper 1 and it's question 3C. And it says a squared is equal to bc squared plus a plus c all over b. And it says express show that b is equal to 1 over a minus c. Ooh, now this it says, in other words, giving this show that is equal to, in other words, we're looking for b on its own. Okay, we're looking for b. So that's another way to put it. Show that b is equal to that. So well, we have to find b. Now, I can bring across this b and unravel it, so it becomes b a squared is equal to b c squared plus a c. I think a plus c. Okay, and so I've got the equal sign here. I bring the bc's across because I want to bring them together. ba squared minus bc squared is equal to a plus c. Do you see what I did there? Okay, I brought the b's together. This is like grouping them together. And I'm looking for the common factor because I'm looking for b. I'm always looking for b. So b, I'm factorizing b. b times a squared minus c squared is equal to a plus c. I didn't do anything except take out the b. We did this before. Okay. Now, if I bring this across, it'll become b is equal to, I'm going to do it up here. b is equal to, because I'm bringing this across, a plus c over a squared minus c squared. Alright, do you see what I did? Okay, so I brought this multiplication over the equal sign and changed this function from multiplication to division. Right, now it's not finished there. I have the difference of two squares. That becomes a plus c over a minus c by a plus c. That's the difference of two squares and they can cancel. And they go in once and the answer is a minus c. So that big formula can be reduced down to this little formula of 1 over a minus c. Now I don't think I have anything left here to do, but best of luck with those questions. Thank you, that was a good session.